Every time I walk into a public school that is facing challenges, like so many of the ones we have across the country, when I walk into hallways with peeling paint and maintenance deferred, it takes me right back to my old high school, where over 80% of the kids were on the subsidized lunch program, where I was hungry. And I think about the staff in that school who show up every day and live Dr. King's promise. You know, Dr. King said, "What are you doing for others?" And the teachers, the staff of these schools show up every single day and answer that question. In my high school, I had a teacher who kept me fed. Even among the poorest of the poor, there are some kids who literally, at the end of the month, will not eat unless they eat at school. And we learned that during the pandemic, where so many kids got no food. Well, it was my high school English teacher who fed me out of his pocket at the end of the month to make sure that I had food. And back then, I wasn't thinking about what I was going to be when I grew up. I was thinking about whether or not I was going to drop out of high school in order to go to find a second job so that I could keep my family afloat. And that's what you are doing here today. You're giving these kids a chance to stay in school. They are going to get inspiration from the murals, but you're going to support the teachers who will keep them in school so that they can indeed stay here and graduate and go on to the next step, and one day graduate out of high school and maybe even do everything they can to get out of a four-year school and maybe even one day serve in the military like I did. And maybe one day one of these young kids will be that officer who literally soars into the sky with the American flag on their shoulder, the flag of our nation, to defend her and be called a hero. And maybe one day one of the kids in this school will grow up and become mayor of this great city, or a senator, or a president. But they don't get there if we don't sustain them now.